Welcome. I am Mohit from Watchout, and today we have with us Prof. Narayan, who is the Dean of Academic Affairs, IT Roorkee, to answer some questions about the completion of the ongoing semester and the next one. So, to begin with, let's start with the question that's probably been bothering a lot of people, which is the notice recently came out that ETEs are going to be conducted as scheduled before starting from the 20th of January to the 1st of February. So, can you tell us something about how the proctoring for these exams is going to be handled?
Okay, Mohit. To start with, it's wonderful. It's a high time that we need to really share our thought process and, the plans and practices for the interim examination, especially for semester completion plan, which can really help the whole student community at large. So it is wonderful that you are meeting today. And I'm very sure that, the rest of the community will get benefit out of our interaction. And you see, when we talk about the end-term examination, I'd just like to give a bit of preamble before I reach out to your answers. I think the Senate, I guess it is 85th Senate meeting, which has been held on December 18th, 2020. And there was an item 85.2.1, okay, which has approved the provision to conduct an online end-term examination for all the students, excluding undergraduate first year, okay, of the autumn semester 2021. And one thing is also very clear, which has been categorically mentioned, that the duration of the examination should be at least of 2 hours, and perhaps it can be extended maximum up to 3 hours. Okay, and the interim examination, as you mentioned, probably it will start from 20th of January and will continue till 2nd of February. Okay, and there is no change in the interim examination weightages, which has already been approved by the Senate, and in which the classwork sessional, which varies from actually 50 to 60% of the weightage, and the interim examination will be from 40 to 50% of the weightage. The main intention of these weightages are, we wanted to have perhaps actually more weightage towards the classwork sessional. And it's not like, in the past we had actually 30%, approximately 25 to 30% weightage for your classwork sessionals, approximately, same weightage close to 30% for your midterm, and probably 40 to 50% for your end term.
Yes.
And because there is no midterm examination, so the whole weightage for the end term examination could have been, slightly more than as high as 70%. So, but the idea here, let us, balance it out by giving maximum weightage to the classwork sessionals and probably a reasonable weightage to the end term examination, which otherwise would have created a strong, a kind of feeling among the student community. Okay, in one day, not being in campus in an online mode, you will be evaluated with a weightage of more than 70%, which is slightly worrying factor for many graduate students. So probably this is what the intention was. And then there is also one more provision, if desired, if an instructor can conduct a viva voce to talk to students, try to understand what they are doing, because only online examination and evaluation not necessarily will indicate the performance of a candidate. So perhaps actually the faculty or instructors can perhaps go for a viva voce mode, and that evaluation certainly be a part of your CWS, okay? And it need to be announced priorly, it has to be announced priorly and well before time so that the students are prepared about it. And Academic Affairs Office also requested all the heads of the department, to submit a plan to conduct few practical examination, how they are going to conduct, or if there is a plan to shift to the next semester, they have to submit it. And we have given a date till January 7th of January. That was yesterday. And all the inputs have been received, and probably after a couple of days, we'll be meeting for an IAPC, and they will try to discuss and take it forward to the Senate for approval if some of the practicals are being shifted to next semester. And then your important question about the proctoring, when you talk about interim examination, there's a plan of a hybrid type of mechanism where actually, you can use multiple platforms, one platform for proctoring and another platform for answering. Okay. And probably all the instructors, may engage most of the teaching assistant fellows, even those who are at distance, to be part of the proctoring mechanism. So on an average, actually 15 to 20 odd student, so one teaching assistant will be engaged to proctor approximately 15 to 20 students. If the class is of 120, then there could be at least 7 to 8 TAs, they will be proctoring. And however, the questions, I mean, the design of question, there are, altogether, it's a independent, a way through which any instructor can design a question paper to engage the student well. And most likely, I think our instructors will be, ready to come out with a question paper, which is kind of, suitable for an online platform evaluation scheme.
Yes.
Yeah, that's all from my side. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay. Since you said that since the examinations for this sem are going to be held online, will the provision for S grade and no cap re-examinations be presented again for this semester as it was last sem?
You see, one thing is very clear, Mohit. When you talk about re-examination, you see, re-examination has to be there. Especially those students have failed or or may not be able to perform well. We need to provide an opportunity of re-examination.
Just to clarify for a minute, just in case of any confusion, by re-examination, I mean that last semester, that usually there's a grade cap on it, re-examination. The last
Okay,
sem that
okay.
was waived off.
No, this semester, I mean, the re-examination and second examination for all the failed students and due to medical reason, respectively, will be conducted. And this semester, there is no provision of S grade that we had in the past. So it is a regular semester itself. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it is absolutely like a conventional semester only.
Okay.
Okay. So there is no special clause for re-examination without cap and other things. Yeah.
Mhm.
Only those who have failed and having any health issue, they will be given an opportunity as per rule for re-examination. And there is no S grade. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Sir, can you give us some idea as to when the next sem is scheduled to start? And whether it will be in online mode, or is there any chance of it being offline, or is it going to be like a mixture of the two?
Yeah, I think it is too early to comment about because we are really taking decisions, very timely and slowly because just observing the outside scenario and the national, perspective at large before taking any call. So the plan for next semester is not yet finalized because we are still working on that. And very difficult to comment on the mode of teaching at this stage. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I mean, tentatively, as I could see now, actually, because there's not really, a long duration left for you to take a call. So
Mhm.
theoretically, if you see, like, let's say the semester gets over by February, mid of
Mhm.
February, okay, so then again, immediately the spring semester has to start. So I don't see a sudden change within a month or two, the whole, because I think the situation will still continue, for some time. That's what I could
Mhm.
foresee. I don't see something major change where everything will come to normal, especially for, the pandemic is really not going down. It's really oscillating, from time to time. So I don't see, so there is a very clear cut idea that what will happen. But anyway, we'll take a call, as and when the time comes, and there is a say like you cross the bridge as and when you reach. So something like that. So
Yes, sir.
probably maybe next month the things will be very clear. Yeah.
Mhm. Yes. Okay. Thank you, sir. And now that you bring up that this semester is scheduled to end somewhere in the starting to mid of February, that means that the next semester is going to be delayed by almost 2 months as compared to the normal timeline.
Mhm.
So this brings up another concern which a lot of students have, which is if this semester was to be, if the next semester was to be delayed by say a couple months, then is there any chance that it could cut into the summer vacation and interfere with students' internships?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. I see. Now, let's see this way. We are going to start a bit late, but we do understand the importance of summer vacation and intensive activities for all the students, most of the students. So, what we are trying to do, probably, because we had a uh, academic calendar committee recently, and then we are still working on what need to be done. So, what we are exploring at this stage, we are trying to engage couple of Saturdays, okay, so that the semester can be squeezed. So, for example, if we have delayed the semester by, let's say, 6 weeks,
Mhm.
and at least, 2 to 3 weeks, we can, squeeze it further
Mhm.
by engaging Saturday, so that the semester is not really delayed. Because if you delay by 2 months' time, let's say, or maybe even 6 week time, so almost you are, taking half of a pie of your summer vacation. That we really do not want to happen. So
Mhm.
the strategy at this stage is, to really, engage, I mean, at least a few Saturday and try to adjust, a couple of weeks. Certainly, the semester will be delayed by 3 to 4 weeks. There is no doubt about it, but
Mhm.
it is not too long actually. So most likely, at least mid of June, we are, hoping that things will be uh, over, so that at least July and mid of half of June and full of July and half of August one can utilize for any activity, 8 weeks program for internship, etc. Yeah. So we
Mhm.
are really keeping some window for intensive activities. We are not really closing down completely.
Mhm. So, but something that is particular someone brought up is that most of the internship opportunities they are I guess the students don't really get to pick the time at which their internships start and end. And it just so happens that a lot of internships, both corporate and research, start in May, which is start in somewhere near the end of May, which is usually where the summer vacation begins. So,
Uh,
hmm,
yeah, Mohit, I mean, this is a very right question, but this year is not like your normal year, like it's a
hmm,
pandemic year. So I'm very sure that efforts can be made from both institution side and maybe the training placement officer side and maybe from student community, and if required even from the director's desk, we can request companies to help our boys, or girls, and also see to that the program can be extended a little bit, because I'm very sure uh, that most of the institutions may not be able to complete the semester well in time. So probably that window of 2 to 3 weeks extension, I hope so that organization will certainly extend it. That's my
hmm,
confidence. So because we cannot really completely uh, squeeze the semester in such a manner, that all the students are really struggling to do it. So the semester has to go. What are the best possible way? For example, Sunday we are not going to engage. That's not a good idea.
hmm,
And even all Saturday may not be a good idea. Okay. So, but probably we'll see to that. Maybe the vacation we can reduce. There is no, holidays, much more holidays. I mean, whatever best way it can be done. But certainly there will be a reasonable delay will be there, which can be negotiated with the companies. That's what I believe.
hmm,
So we are not really, for example, if someone is expecting you to be there, let's say end of May, so probably you can extend by 2 weeks time. But if you go in the mid of July, then they will be really disappointed. So that's
hmm,
what I'm trying hard, at least in the month of June or beginning, mid of June, actually, you'll be able to join.
hmm.
Yeah,
Okay,
at that time.
okay, sir. And since okay, so according to the recent notification, a lot of laboratory courses are to be covered up through through like vivas and mini tests. But there's still a large chunk of practical courses that have been left out. And now that we know that they are obviously not going to be covered this semester, and the next semester is going to be squeezed as well, how does the institute plan to get the students to catch up on these practical courses that have been missed out?
It is certainly a big challenge. I mean, to me, I mean, I'm certainly will be very happy if we go, in line with the practicals and theory before we move to the next semester.
Hmm.
But when we realize that it is almost impossible for to open the campus with full capacity of the students because of limited, hostels. Hostels are also not having, independent toilets. That's another bigger challenge. So it is certainly difficult for a common mess facility, common washroom facilities, and common even limited common space. So what we are thinking that certainly there will be a challenge. There is no doubt about it, because when you shift any practicals, it's not going to be a normal mode of operation. But preferably, I'm very sure that next semester also, if the situation continue further, then we have to really rethink and make sure, because probably there could be an attempt by the institution. I'm not very sure, but I guess maybe actually, at least for the interim examination of the spring, okay, hope that things will be normal and you will be back to campus. That's what I'm hopeful.
Mhm.
And at least you spend a reasonable time, do some of your practicals before you go for interim examination. That's what actually, finger crossed, but I'm hoping for that. Yeah.
Okay, so that's good to hear, I guess. And yeah, so another issue that we faced this semester was that even though the official notice said that there can be no formal MTs, midterm examinations, a number of professors were reported to have taken extended quizzes that were effectively midterms. So will measures be taken to prevent that in the next semester, in the spring semester?
No, I mean it's an official notification where the attendance requirement was waived off for
Hmm.
sure for this semester,
Hmm.
and so students may contact the concerned departments if
Hmm.
they come across certain challenges. Okay, that if there is any additional weightage has been given to attendance, or maybe someone who has not been allowed to appear for an interim examination
Hmm.
or being penalized, I think the best way would be like the especially those students. I'm very sure it is not for across the campus. In some pockets, if they realize that there is some issue, I think this can be resolved by talking to the DAPC chairman as well as the head of the department, and this problem, and also the instructor. This problem can be solved. I'm sure about it. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. And now that you mention it, yeah, I guess another thing that could be incorporated into the same issue is that even though the attendance requirement for setting an interim examinations was waived, it was still counted towards CWS. But I guess now that you mention it, that's also something that students should reach out to.
Yeah, reach out to the DAPC chairman and, if required, instructor first, certainly,
Mhm.
and to convince politely that, okay, this is what. And some of the students may have some practical challenges and
Mhm.
may not be able to attend all the classes regularly due to some reason, okay?
Mhm.
So maybe they can reach out to the instructor first, and if the problem got resolved, it's well and good. And if not, they can certainly reach out to the DAPC chairman and head of the department to resolve. Yeah. It's perfectly a departmental issue. I'm very sure almost most of the departments, classes, and instructors they know about it. Yeah, but in some cases, if the students need some help, they can reach out to the instructor first. If the problem doesn't, help, the problem doesn't really improve. I mean, what they thought of, they can certainly talk to the DAPC chairman, and try to resolve it further. Yeah. But I'm very sure. I mean, sometimes I feel that it may look like the instructors were very kind of taking. I mean, they may be taking attendance very sincerely. I mean, it's a good idea. But I'm very sure that they will be also considering the fact that some of the students are in locations where there are challenges, and maybe facing difficult time, and there are so many other things. Okay, so I think this can certainly be solved at department level. Yeah.
Mhm. And okay. And on the topic of students facing problems and students being from remote areas, another issue is that the same reason that most of these students would have trouble catching up on attendance, a lot of them might have connectivity issues with the online and term examination as well. So, how does the institute plan to accommodate these people?
Oh, yeah, there are two things here. First of all, the general, the first important point that all the students, through you, I like to, inform all the student community that please make sure that you have a nice PC with a, good camera and a basic internet connectivity facility, because sometimes it happens that you may not have it, but your city may have some internet facility and you need to really buy that, or maybe you get connected, what not. So please make sure that you are not going to face any difficulties during the examination hour. That is number one. I'm not saying that you do have it, but please explore the possibility to get best out of it. Okay, that is number one. Number two, like if the internet facility is really not too good, back home, and then I mean that is really a concern because it's very difficult to hold the examination because it's a proctored based examination. And if it is an assignment, it is fine. But if the examination being conducted in a proctored way, and if you do not have enough bandwidth, or maybe you do not have a camera, or may not be a good, PC or a laptop, then certainly it's a challenge. And we cannot pre-assume that all the students across the country and community do have enough support in that angle. Okay,
Exactly.
so that is absolutely true about it. But my suggestion, but a small camera, I mean, also the backup, sometime, there is no power, let's say. Okay.
Hmm.
So then your laptop must help you, to continue for at least 2 hours examination. And there may not be any electricity supply that may go off, at home. So I think all these precautions, a student need to take, make sure your laptop battery is able to give you backup of at least 1 to 2 hours time, and your home can, give you supply for at least 1 to 2 hours. So all these precautions actually from now itself, I think all are requested to do it. And due to any reason, if you do not have, my suggestion, please travel to your, nearby relatives or nearby friends, or maybe, accessible maybe 5 to 7 kilometers, or maybe you may have a wonderful friend who has all the facilities because things have changed now. You may not have certain things, but your friends, your family, your relatives may have. So please talk to them, get it ready, or maybe you can explore your own way an institution which is nearer to your place. Let's imagine that I stay in a place where next to me there is a college where there is a wonderful internet facility. Okay, so maybe I can request and take a PC and sit there and give my examination. So probably this is the high time. If you're appearing, let's say, a joint entrance examination or maybe a, any entrance examination, how serious we are. Similarly, for interim examination, we have to explore the best facility, which I mean, you should not be disappointed that, okay, because of that facility, I am a loser. That should not happen. So my suggestion from now itself, all the students must explore the best possible way and at least make the basics ready actually. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's the plan. Yeah.
Yes, sir. And speaking of the joint entrance examinations, I guess along a similar model, I guess IIT Madras did something really nice where they had offline centers throughout the country for students to.
Oh, this is also a wonderful idea. I mean, I'm not denying it because I have also participated in a couple of meetings with them, Almost I'm there from the day zero of their discussion also. Now, it is something like a, kind something you gain and something you lose. You see, first of all, it's my, I mean, opinion at this stage, a personal view, that, it is better that let the students be safe at their home, okay? One has to travel again 30 kilometers or 20 kilometers nearby place, again come back in the evening. I mean, the way we are talking about internet issue, the next will come about the accommodation issue. Okay. And then third will be the travel issue. And some of the, let's say, like Delhi or Mumbai, if there is a sudden eruption, or maybe a kind of, more cases coming up, then everything stops. Okay. So it's like, we are losing something. I'm very sure about it. But also there is some gain here that you are staying at home and giving your examination online. I think, yeah, this is also equally a good model to me, actually. Yeah, the way we are going ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, that's fair. So just one last question. Uh, so considering that, so now that we know that at least part of the next semester is going to be online, so students won't be availing any hostel or mess facilities anymore. So will there be any concession in the fees that students have to pay?
Yeah, this is purely an administrative, decision. I mean, less of academic and more of administration here.
Mhm.
So I'm very sure the institute will look forward to come out with a solution which may accommodate the interest of the students. And again, perhaps do not disappoint the student community that you have to pay the same amount without using all luxuries and facilities.
Mhm.
So I'm very sure that the institute must be looking in that direction. I mean,
Okay.
coming out with a solution to meet out, the concerns of student community, and they will propose a solution which will really take care of your concerns. I'm very sure about it.
Thank you, sir. So thank you, sir, for coming together, for coming today and answering all the questions that we had. This has been wonderful, and we hope that uh, it'll reach that it will help students form a better idea of how this semester and the next semester is going to be completed.
Sure, thank you, and I wish you all very good luck. And once again, belated Happy New Year to all of you and
Thank you, sir.
across the campus community and student community. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir.